Instead of best...
Yeah. Oh, my God. Is that a Carlton cake? Oh, huge. Oh, that's awesome. I love this. Hey, that is great.
Happy
birthday to me. That is great. That is awesome.
We got you something that you've always wanted.
A Premier's 24 cake. Will this slide off if I show everyone or not? No? Did you make this? Did you actually? No.
It won't taste good, but...
Did you actually make that? Is this recording, by the way? Yeah. Oh, my God, everyone. YouTube, you can see this. Premier's 24 Carlton cake. It is amazing. Amy's made that. Ollie's getting a little hat on me. For everyone who's listening to the podcast, oh, my God, I've broken the hat. Everyone who's listening to the podcast, it's my birthday yesterday. Still celebrating birthday week. I have a cake in front of me that says Premier's 24 Carlton, obviously branded. This is the best birthday ever. Thank you, guys. You guys are so good to me. Thank you so much. Best birthday ever. And if this comes true, best year ever. This is great. Hat's gone. Hat's gone. Oh, thank you, guys. So sweet. That's awesome. That is actually amazing. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Dan Does Footy podcast. You can find more of Dan Does Footy on the website, Spotify, YouTube, and social media. Lids off. See ya. There was heaps of sick kids, and I was like, where are they? Kick him harder. Kick him all harder. Punch him in the face. I'm bloody horizontally challenged, if you get what I mean. Boner. Tough crowd today. Should we say this is the line? If you don't hear the next bit, it's over the line? Okay, so if you don't hear the next bit, I've got over the line. We should just walk past Punt Road. It dips in. You got me again. Surprises.
We love a surprise now.
You
It's
guys
the
love
new
surprising
thing.
me. I'm glad that this time I hadn't been scammed, or we hadn't been scammed at a 13 grand.
So you can just enjoy it.
Just enjoy this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Guys, welcome to the podcast. What a round of football. What has happened here? Carnage everywhere. Whoever wrote the script for this season has done a damn good job. This round, it's like everything just came. We'd been bubbling away throughout the season. I feel like this round, in round 12, they just said, hey, let's flip the script here. Let's cause a bit of mayhem. We've got people rubbed out for awards. We've got upsets galore. But first of all, let's check in with you, my friend. How are we?
I'm really good.
You good?
I'm really good.
Oh, really good.
Well, what? What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, you're back.
I've got my... mate, we're back in a big way. I went to Stall on the weekend, went to the President's Lunch. Saints got a win. Like, it's the
big
dream.
effort.
It's
You've been
been a
cheering.
great weekend.
Tell me about Stall. What happened in Stall?
Oh, what didn't happen in Stall? Won the raffle.
Oh, what was on offer?
Well, first prize was it's a toolbox.
Great, tradies.
So I got second spot, which was a footy and a six-pack of beer.
Oh, full-size footy?
Full-size footy, and got it signed by the entire first team and reserves.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
and they would love that.
Oh, they said, who's this for? What?
Especially the twos boys, they would love you getting
Yeah.
around them. And so now that you have we know about your newfound fame, which you're documenting. Did people install? They knew who the big dog is, or not? Over unders photos 7.
Look, I was disappointed in the end. I think I did 2 photos.
Because you normally want 5. Is that where you
Yeah, at least. But having said that, I actually think that the over-unders could have been a little bit more because you're walking into a footy club. Do you know what I mean? Like, over-unders when you go into a cafe.
Was there a lot of hellos though, like Harley?
No.
Oh no, not big install.
No, not as big as I thought.
Wow.
But the guy who got my footy signed, he was all about it. So he did the high 10s and he made up for.
He knew.
Yeah.
He
but
knew.
the demographic of the lunch was a little bit older. So they, like Terry Danaher was there and
How was Terry?
he could talk.
Yeah, I bet he could.
You know those old boys who just...
Yeah, talk underwater.
I reckon he was asked 4 questions in the hour.
Yeah. They can talk underwater, can't
Yeah,
they?
and it was a real so tell me, what was the moment that you found out that you were being traded from South Melbourne to Essendon?
Here we go again. Terry's better go on a spiel.
But at no point did he tell the story. He just, it was then, moments at training and you're like, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it was great.
Great.
And then we watched the Saints win at the club. That went off.
Did
I was
it?
just getting free beers.
How many
beers,
in the club
bang,
room?
Bang, bang, bang. It would have been like 50.
Yeah. Right.
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
I had a great weekend.
So you had a great weekend.
I had such a good
Well, I'm
weekend.
glad you're happy, mate. It's my birthday, so I did too.
Oh, yeah, on to you.
No, it was great. It was great. I had a great time yesterday, guys. Very try to keep it under the radar.
Yeah.
Didn't really want to say.
Why is that? Is it
Just growing up, we didn't really celebrate. Oh, no, I don't know. I feel weird about celebrating birthdays.
Okay.
Year older, closer to dying.
Yeah. Well, okay.
No, it was great. I had a really good, probably the best birthday I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, just like did stuff I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, I played golf and had like 2 beers. I feel good this morning.
Yeah.
Didn't just drink all the beers at the golf club. So I feel really good. Good clarity this year at 30. I'm 32 years old, everyone. That's fucking old as. But just good clarity. Like I'm just took a breath in a moment yesterday. I was like, fuck, life is good.
Yeah.
You know? I've got great people like yourself and the listeners and the people who are watching on YouTube. I've got great family. Life's good.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that you had a good low-key birthday because there was a moment yesterday when I said, oh, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I didn't even know it was on. And then I was thinking, oh, no birthday party invite.
No.
Now I'm concerned.
Oh, so you thought I was throwing something?
Yeah, and then so it's good to hear that you just had a really nice.
Nothing was planned.
Okay,
no, you would have been first there, mate.
Yeah.
But yeah, great to be here. Great to be here in your ears. As I said, guys, what a round of football. And before we're going to loop each other up here and get into it, but new umpire change, new rule change.
Yep.
What we think?
Well, let's start with the Thursday night. We were sort of texting throughout when there'd be a decision, and there were lots of yep, like that, like this, and then there was lots of oh no, don't like
Didn't
that.
like that.
I think overall I was pretty happy. I think it felt clearer, definitely, and we saw that the average of the holding the ball went up.
Yeah, went
So
from
I like that. But there was, what was the moment in the Thursday in the Port Carlton game? Was it Sam Walsh he had one hand sort of almost
So this
chicken
is-
wing behind his back.
This is the thing. I think we've moved now from, and you're right, it did go up, the free kicks, the holding the ball free kicks went up from 7.6 to 11.6
Right.
from last
Well, there
round
you
to this
go.
round. So there you are. I think the thing now we know is that if the umpires see you with an arm free and you can't get rid of the ball, then it's holding the ball. And in that situation, when you are tackled with one arm and you got to get rid of it, there's every chance and a higher chance that it's incorrect disposal. So when
Yep.
you drop it, so you're getting pinned. So the umpires are now quick, like, and that's the issue where is what if it's just a good tackle?
Yeah.
And you can't get out of it. So you have to, like, I am still no surer to knowing if this is a good rule change or a bad rule change. I still think the umpires are off in calling it. There was a Nick Dacos one.
Yeah.
So there is still so much inconsistency. I think all we want as fans is just be consistent. And we don't know what it is yet. Like it looked different. It looked quicker on the whistle. We know that you have to get rid of the ball now or it's going to be paid holding the ball against you. So I walked away from round 12 going, I like that they're calling it more, but there are still some calls where I don't like it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But would you say that just as a consumer, as a footy watcher, it's almost better in a weird way that you're calling more decisions and a couple of them might be wrong rather than that real frustration as a fan where you're going, I'm literally begging you,
Please.
give us a free because this is getting ridiculous now. So like it's almost better that you're like, okay, well that wasn't maybe 100% right, but you're calling a lot of them.
But we've seen
And
this
it's
with
good.
every rule change the AFL does. They're setting the mark years ago.
Yeah.
They were holding it for 4 rounds and the AFL said relax.
Yeah.
So the last, I think that pre-finals, and we know what happens in the finals, they swallow their whistles and a bit more gets, you know, they get away
yeah.
with a bit more. So I just don't, if that's what it is right now, let's do that right now all the way to the end of the year
Yep.
and then make a change.
Agreed.
But when finals come around, don't swallow the whistles. Let's just pay what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Keep it consistent. So yeah, I did like it. I thought the umpires were okay, but also there's room for it to improve. I was thinking of something, the umpires. What was it? That's right. There's a lot of people messaging in saying that they felt a bit lightheaded because the umpires are calling ball so much that when they stand up at the games to yell ball, they're doing it so often that they go on a bit dizzy in the stands.
Ooh.
So make sure when you are at the games or at your home, you just take a breath before each stoppage.
Yep.
Get a bit of break, get some oxygen in, and then you're ready to go again and just scream ball.
We might need to get the breath house to do some breathing exercises for people.
When you breathe.
Yeah.
For sure. So we did that. Hey, Harley, Reid, this is great. Do you want to take this? Because you brought it to the table.
I'll bring it to the table, then you can discuss what you think about this. So I won't use names to protect the innocent in the event that I've got this wrong, but I've checked and checked and checked and checked and it feels correct. So update on the lunch.
110K.
110K for a lunch with Nick Naitanui and Harley Reid. Now, forgive
Steak knives, Nick Naitanui. It's Harley Reid lunch.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I don't know what I was expecting, but I think in my head I was sort of picturing clearly going to be some sort of West Australian mogul, oil money probably, but also it felt very like it would be for charity and for like a function. I was expecting
Yeah, I was expecting 11 blokes, 10K each.
Totally.
At the game, at Optus, or at a pub.
Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly what I was expecting. No. So a real estate mogul in WA bought this for his daughter's birthday.
My God.
He's posted saying, "Happy 19th birthday, my gorgeous girl. Hope you like your present. What's 110K when you're spending it on the world's best daughter? Be gentle with him. Love you always, and Harley." And then there's a selfie of her with Harley.
So this bloke has bought his daughter her 19th birthday. Her present was lunch with Harley.
It's the natural progression from Daddy, I Want a Pony to now Daddy, I Want a Harley.
Harley. Yeah, right. Oh, for Harley, that's the best case scenario.
I suppose so.
Going to a 19th birthday party. He's 19 as well.
But I don't think it was a 19th birthday party. I think it was just her present.
Oh, just like, hey, come to the dinner with family.
It feels a bit sort of you're being set up on a date here.
Yeah. That's a lot of money to spend on 19th birthday. I remember my 19th birthday, I think I got like my dad's old Ford Falcon.
Yeah, okay.
So that was worth like maybe $2,000 at the time.
Yeah.
So times are changing. But if you got the money, spend it. Spend it. I have another Harley Reid dance desk moment.
Are we doing
This
it?
is big, guys, and I'm running with it because I've got a vibe here. This might be true.
Okay, hit me.
Saints beat the Eagles on Saturday. You've spoken about it. You're happy.
Sure.
You'll probably even be happy after this. After the game, you think that they play a Saturday. Normally you catch the red eye and you're out of there. You say, we're bouncing. Hey, we've got a game at Marvel against the Suns this weekend. Why will we stay in the next morning?
Yeah, they would have finished at about 7, something like that.
Yeah, snacks, recover, get to the airport by 10, hang around, do what you need to do. Let's get home.
Off you go.
To my amazement, I get a message saying, big news here. I've just had a run-in with Ross the boss in the elevator at a venue. I've taken a photo with him to show you the evidence that I'm with him. I think, and I am 90% sure, he's just met Harley Reid with Darcy Wilson. Darcy Wilson, Ross the boss, have stayed back to see Harley. Harley might be leaving, I think. Harley could be leaving.
That's one of the biggest scoops.
Why would he say?
Well, he's lived in Perth for a long time. I'm just going to play devil's advocate.
He hates Freo. They hate him.
That's huge.
It's big.
Was the photo of the three of them or just with this guy?
So the source that gave it to me took a photo with Ross the boss. Is like, here's the evidence that you need.
Okay, but it wasn't a picture of him.
No, I don't think that anyone would ever pap that. If they did pap that in the news, imagine the Western Australia, they would burn Harley to the ground.
Wow.
They've raised him up. Now, I think, So that's what I'm hearing. The Saints making a big play. And we know what they have. The war chest, a huge war chest ready to go.
Oh my God.
So that is big, big, big. Darcy Wilson and Harley, best friends?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Take of that what you will. But I thought, hey, we'll just put it out there.
And even if, okay, let's just say it's true. What would they be talking about? Like, you don't just go,
hey, mate, so sorry I knocked you the fuck out.
Let's buy, can I buy you lunch to make up for it?
Yeah, we're going to stay a day longer just to have lunch together and hang out. I don't think so. Hey, can we have, Darcy goes to Harley, want to have lunch the next day? He's like, oh, you're going to stay? Yeah. Do you mind if I bring a friend?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Cool.
No, you probably know him.
He's cool.
He's all cool. He's sweet.
Yeah.
Crazy. So make of that what you will. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Sportsbet. Keep an eye out for Feed. I'm on the feed. My bets are on the feed. You can join them and jump on them with me each week. You go to Sportsbet, you're on the feed, you follow my bet, all in one button press. It's all there. So keep an eye out the next couple of days. My bet's going to be there leading into a big, big round of football. We went into the round talking about Clarko again and being accused of vile language on the bench. Now, at the start when it broke, I think we all, myself included, got a bit like, okay, Clarko's done it again. Hey, Clarko, just do a module. Yeah. Module 1, stop abusing people. Module 2, stop using racial abuse.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yep.
So we were like, hey, what are we doing here? Now, it's been accused and said that the AFL, they're not going to sanction him for any wrongdoing because what he said on the bench, again, what I heard, my sources come back to me, was he said, "You fucking into the bench." Now, when he said it into the bench, the bench umpire was sitting there. So the poor bench umpires heard this, thought it was directed at him and reported him and said, "I think Clarko, while I'm sitting here in my trackies, ready to go if something fucking goes wrong, has called me a fucking." But what he's really done is turned after a bad decision to say it. Poor bench umpire. All you do know from all this stuff is that no umpire is fucking safe around Clarko.
Oh, no.
If you're an umpire, boundary umpire, field umpire, goal umpire, and he's in the vicinity, you're every chance to get abused.
Now, tell me this. You said a couple of weeks ago, like, just to anyone out there that's using just inappropriate language,
Yes.
you said, just say
That's all I've asked for.
So are we feeling okay about this now?
Well, I thought we could use that. It's a
Yeah.
lot better than saying anything else that's been put out there already this year.
That's true.
So I think it's if you're teaching the boys to say anything, you say boys.
Teaching them to say it.
I'm sure Clarko's not saying, "Boy, team meeting, fellas," the words we can use. That's a
could
good
be.
one. So that's what he said, and I think, Clarko, everyone keeps saying that the AFL needs to teach him a lesson. I just don't think they're going to.
Do you get the sense that, and this might feel a bit rude to Clarko, but it's a little bit like when your grandparents keep being inappropriate and you can't be bothered pulling them up because it's like, oh, they're never going to learn.
No,
It's-
he's not.
You know,
Oh,
they're too
Clarko.
far gone.
Clarko shit himself again.
Yeah,
Oh, just let him go. Yeah.
Alice,
But
yeah.
also, I think like the older you get, I think that you have more leeway to say what you want because people are just like, okay, that person's just old. And you yourself just don't care.
Oh, let's be honest. It's the one benefit of getting old.
Yeah.
It's just being able to sit there and go,
What's Clarko? I think Clarko's 57 now. So I think he's looking for ways to get out of North. He's like, what boundaries can I push here to try and distance myself from this absolute shit heap of a football club?
maybe he's filming like a behind the scenes documentary.
Yeah.
This is more of a social
How
experiment.
I sacked myself.
Yeah.
True. Well, they were very good on the weekend.
They
North. They were. And I think the fans would be happy. They didn't have to see anything terrible on TV or at the game. And North were very good by just having the bye. Listen, we have been speaking, we've been on commentary teams for a long time now. And I've been the biggest critic of particularly a couple of them.
You have?
Joel Selwood has skyrocketed to the top of the ladder. Man, that hurts me to say because he's a legend of the football club. But sometimes when you're a legend of AFL footy clubs, you don't become just good natural commentators. And that's not anything negative because I think he's a great person. I think he's done great things for the game. I think he's done great things for Geelong. But sometimes you're just not good at what you're not good at.
Yep.
And it's so sad because on Thursday Night Footy particularly, if I have to think about stuff while I'm watching the football, then you as a commentator haven't done your job because now you're confusing me about things. And Joel Selwood didn't have a great game. He's unfortunately gone into the AFL's concussion protocols after this.
That's when they look most dangerous. Use each other, link up with each other all over the ground. How am I going there?
So he's going to have a 10-day rest, just try and get clear by AFL.
I think I once met a bloke backpacking called Lakeisha. Wasn't great, was it? A bit of a blunder.
No, it wasn't great. I mean, it's just, I don't want to really pile on, but it's just, I think we need to keep reshuffling this thing until we get a good commentary team, don't you think?
Well, just keep everyone accountable, and I keep you accountable.
You do.
The moment that you stumble on your
You
words,
laugh
I go,
at me
sorry,
and
what
I
was
cop
that?
it. And listen, guys, sometimes I'm not great at my words. I'm not, but I get them out there and I think I have some kind of idea of what I'm saying out there, but I don't really just keep digging and digging and digging and digging
I
and
mean,
digging.
you definitely have the approach of I'll just throw words at a wall and see what sticks.
Fuck it. I may as well. That's the approach you have to have. Now, this could be Dusty's last game. A bit to look at when we look at Dusty's situation here.
Okay.
5-day turnaround. Played 299 games. 5-day turnaround into his 300th in Adelaide Thursday Night Football. Played on Saturday. 5-day turnaround. It's not the MCG. That's the first thing. On the other hand, on the same hand, he doesn't like the media. He doesn't like the real fuss of things, like big build-ups and stuff being about him. He's not even doing one media interview and one photo. That's all he's doing for this 300th game. So does he play then retire, which is the big rumour, that he's going to be 300, I'm out, retiring, dimmer. How did you get the Suns to fly over to you and, calamari, contracts, rosé? Like, how does that work? I want that, and I'll see you next year up at the Suns. Does he rest and play it at the G the week after? Or does he play and continue to play for the rest of the season and not retire at all? Like, is that an option?
I think it has to be an option.
So it's going to be a crazy week in the media to find out what he does.
Okay, so I'm looking at this list you've created there.
Yep.
When you look at it, where does your eyes go to immediately and where do your eyes stay? What's the likely one for you?
The likely one says to me that he rests and plays his 300th at the G.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he just travels and gets it over with.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'd be super surprised now that I've thought about it and sat on it if he played this week and retired.
Yeah.
I don't think that's in him.
Well, it'd be weird. It'd be disappointing. I think that actually would be the blemish of his career.
I think
Richmond.
I think Dimmer was different because Dimmer was like, he's a coach and he's not, yes, he's invested and he's led them to success, but Dusty is the fabric of Richmond. 100%. So if he did that, it would be insulting to his career, but also to the Richmond fans, the Tigers fans who have just crawled their way through shit this season to then dump more shit on him.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll do that.
No, and you don't have a Revolt there. You don't have a Cochin there anymore.
I
So
don't think
he's
he'd
the
do it.
last standing.
Yep. And he looks super invested down Geelong on the weekend.
Yeah.
Telling them he's only spearhead up forward who looked like he was trying to direct traffic. So I just can't see him being like, you guys deal with this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
I do wholeheartedly believe he's gone to the Suns.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at, I reckon he'll play in Adelaide. I think it makes sense because there'll be less attention.
And it's over. Thursday night footy.
Yeah.
Long round of football as well.
Totally.
We have Monday football as well. So
Yep.
I think a long round, people forget about Thursday night football on Friday.
Yep, then you just stay in Adelaide for a couple of days and have a party.
Crazy horse. We
Yeah.
know he loves strippers. Front row. What else can you
Nachos.
do there? What's that?
Nachos.
Nachos. There's West Ends.
Yep.
There's a bridge that you can get 3 people across.
Yeah, you could go back and forth on the bridge.
Mm-hmm. True. What more do you want? I need to get rid of this. It should be illegal to do this as well. Debuting as a sub and then only playing the last 10 minutes. Caleb Smith sat on the bench for the Richmond Tigers for 110 minutes. His family had travelled to boring Geelong, cold Geelong, freezing cold. Didn't even get oysters or the tequila. They sat there for 110 minutes, built up all this tension, and he sat there and then played 10 minutes of the game. And that was his debut game. Get rid of it. It should be illegal.
All right.
And that's on Adam Uze.
True.
I did not like that at all. I think it's just a bad way to give a person their first game.
I'm going to be harsh here.
Oh, you like it?
Stuff him. I mean, he's been on the list since 2022. He's worked really hard to get his spot, but you're not gifted these things. So I think it's a pretty shitty way to make your debut, but that's just life. That's just the way it goes. Like, if you're talking to someone who would do anything to be able to play 10 minutes just once of AFL football.
That's a great perspective.
Like, I wouldn't care.
That's a great perspective. I'm sorry.
But I think you're right. Like, it's, all of that wouldn't be the dream. But the dream is to play AFL football.
Yeah.
And he'll probably go out this weekend and play.
Well,
Who knows?
that's a great call. That's a good perspective to have for like you normal people.
I mean, true though.
Because when I look at you, Ollie, I don't view me different to you. Yes, I've played 27 games, 26 games of football, but you and we are equal.
That's true. Well, we're not. We're not.
Football ability, we are worlds apart.
Yeah.
But we are equal as humans.
Yeah, I disagree. I think you're a little
I
better
don't
than me.
discriminate against people who haven't played football and who have.
Yeah. I view it as if I had the opportunity to play 10 minutes for Richmond and then never play again, I'd still be like, that was pretty awesome.
I think it's a great view to have.
know?
Yeah, I get that. And it's all, okay, I respect that, your view on that. I do a lot.
Only stitch up is his family did have to come from Perth.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
So that's frustrating.
That's a long flight as well
Yeah.
for 10 minutes of football.
Does the club pay for that though?
Yeah, normally they do.
Yeah. So when you say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And they say, I've got a 50th. And they say, well, you might have to come to Geelong.
Not 50th, just debuts.
No. His parents had a 50th birthday to go to.
Did you see the phone call?
Yeah.
And his sister? I was
Yeah.
like, oh, no. Oh, okay, I'll move some things around.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay, well, we have different views on it. We'll just see what everyone says. We spoke about last week the issues that all clubs have with the AFL, and they had a dinner and a lunches, and they aired it all out, and they got to a point where the AFL knew where the clubs were coming from. Crazy that now Freo want to move to Alice Springs after the weekend. What the fuck was that? We'll get into it in the review, but holy shit.
You couldn't have been more wrong.
Couldn't have been more wrong in my life. And I may as well say sorry now that we're here. So sorry, Freo. I called you boring.
Yep.
I said that I'd stab my eyes out, I think, on numerous times.
Yep.
I said that you were just pathetic and plain and just not great to watch. You put the Oppo to sleep, and I couldn't have been more wrong. So get your 2 fingers and put them at me.
Yeah.
Because I deserve them.
You do. 22 goals they scored.
Mate, they wiped the fucking floor with Melbourne. Oh, I'm not going to miss Melbourne in the review. Don't worry about that. I'm coming for them. So well done to Freo. Sam Darcy, 2-match ban. Just Maynard. Now, I know a lot of people feel a certain way about Maynard, and they were happy to see that happen. Like, that's however you feel. Okay? But he just leveled the fuck out of him so late as well. Also, though, like when I saw that, I didn't mind it.
Okay.
Not for the same purpose that other people are in their own feelings towards Maynard in the Brayshaw incident.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that a young kid on Big Friday Night Football, lights bright, wanted to be a moth and set the tone for the boys. I think there was a moment in the game where he said, look, if I'm going to do this, this is where the intentions are this week.
Because it was early on too.
Early. It was in the first 5 minutes. So I didn't mind it for that aspect. Now, it's good that Maynard didn't come off the game. He's not injured. But I like that he put a line in the sand and said, nah,
Yeah.
fucking this is where we're at tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I also love just keeping my eye on his dad throughout the coverage and just didn't give him anything.
Luke Darcy just did not blink when it happened. It's like, oh, no.
Ooh. And then even when he scored that unreal goal in the 4th, they had the reaction.
Yeah,
and he
he
went,
can't. It's even like when Sauce, Jack's dad, Jack Silvani, in this crowd, when he kicked his first goal, doesn't clap.
That's weird.
That was a little bit weird. But so Sam Darcy, 2-match ban. Now the match review officer graded the incident as careless conduct, high impact and high contact, meaning he accept the 2-match game ban. He will accept the game ban.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to fight that. I think he's lucky to get 2, given what we've seen as evidence this year. 2 is probably good.
Yeah. The only thing is I can't off the top of my head think of an incident like it this year where most of them have been front on or...
It depends how you view the Peter Wright one.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But it was just in the back cleanup.
Mate,
So it was a different sort
Peter
of
Wright must
vision.
sit there after all these hits and go, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like...
that's true.
Stiffest bloke in Australia. I looked at it and again did the eye test. When you look at something, what do your eyes tell you? I looked at it and said 4 to 6.
Yeah, okay.
So to get 2, I was like,
Yeah.
and then we go to AFL's worst nightmare. This is generally, I've played football, as you know, we just spoke about. I would know that AFL House would be hating this situation right now, what they've done here. And not even their own fault, what's happened in the Eagles St Kilda game. Harley Reid suspended for 2 games, and they can't give the best player, the best young player we've arguably seen in the last decade, 20, 30 years, they can't give him the Rising Star Award. And I hate it so much because we've all been about him, and I hate that he's not going to get that award because he's going to be so clearly above and beyond every other player that is a first-year player this year. And there's this massive uproar about how, the rules should be changed. No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. If that's the rule before the season started, you didn't have any issue with it before the season started. No one came out in the media and said, anyway, by the way, the Rising Star, if someone gets suspended, do you reckon we should still let them win it if they do get suspended? You didn't have any issue with it. And we love Harley and we glaze him flat out, but the rules are the rules. Mm-hmm. So just let it be, and it's so unfortunate. Now, I can see the AFL changing it, given they changed the rules last week.
It's true.
So that does concern me a little bit. They are more than happy to change these things. Adam Simpson came out, and they asked him, the Harley Reid tackle, what'd you think? He goes, nothing in it.
Yeah, like it.
Yeah, just straight back at him.
Yep.
Didn't in it. So it's now become, the Rising Star has become the Stephen Bradbury Award.
How good.
Reid can't win it.
Nope.
Darcy can't win it.
Nope.
So you think Darcy Wilson probably wins it?
At the moment.
Caleb Windsor from Melbourne has been good as well. Steve Bradbury, eat your heart out.
It's a beautiful thing. Can I just throw this one out there? Do you really care? Do people really care about the Rising Star Award? Really? Harley will go on to win a Brownlow.
I mean, his bank account would care. 20K from NAB in the bank. I think it's 50 actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much when you've just been paid 110,000 for a lunch. But
True. And you get an award chest from St Kilda.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's not the worst thing to miss out on, I suppose.
I mean, the argument just opens up again, though. Are we happy for all the awards in the AFL to be based on you can only be eligible if you're not suspended? Are we? I don't. For me, I don't. It's so hard. For me, I think that if you are suspended and you still win an award, a Brownlow, a Rising Star, whatever it might be, then just win it. I don't think the fairness has gone out the window, if we're being really serious, because the fairness went out the window when we decided to change the rules of the fucking league last week.
It's true.
So the league isn't fair, so why are you still judging players in the league on fairness?
And I quite like your point before we started recording. You were like, it's harder to win. You've missed games. So
100%.
Respect.
Yeah.
Imagine missing 3 weeks and still winning it.
I think you just, I'm not sure fairest is something that we judge it on anyway. Like the umpires do the Brownlow. There's a panel that do the Rising Star. Do you think they sit there and go, hold on. Was he fair though?
It's so true.
Like what the fuck is fair?
Imagine getting 3 points just because you were just a good teammate.
Yeah,
like
he had 3 touches, but fuck, he was fair.
Yeah.
He was the fairest bloke out there by a mile. That's 2 votes.
Yeah, he was the first person to give a high 10.
What's the criteria for fairness?
I love that.
I get best. I
Yeah.
can see best. I don't get fair. So again, you know what we have here? We have fucking dinosaurs running this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying change it. I'm just saying let's just talk about it openly and put everything on the table and say, but maybe the best and fairest of Brownlow isn't actually based on fairest. It's just you're the best player in the league.
And interestingly enough, I'm having a look at the Brownlow medal now, the way it's described. Now, every club has a BNF, a best and fairest. You've just been saying then the best and the fairest. They're saying here it's the fairest and best. So they put fair before best.
So the umpires who do the Brownlow are saying, hold on, no, we're judging this game on fairest and then best comes seconds. Hey, let's just fucking pack it up. Pack the league up. We're done. Nah, take everything you need. Pack it up, boys. We're done here.
I'll get that.
It's a fucking joke. Get everything?
Yeah, I've got my... Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come back and finish the show, but that's what we would do if we were done. I don't know. I don't get it. I think you could still, and I might be wrong here, so please correct me if I am, everyone who's listening. Can you win a club BNF?
Ooh, let me have a look.
Can you have a look? Can you win a club BNF if you've been rubbed out? And if you can win that and then can't win a Brownlow, then what are we doing?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Don't.
Unlike the Brownlow medal, players who have served disciplinary suspensions during the season are still eligible to win the best and fairest at club level.
Are we the greatest show on earth? Like, have we just gone... Sorry, guys. That's just crazy. So you can... I feel dumb at re-explaining that.
You can also still win the Coleman.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're being rewarded at club level.
But not
for
league level.
individual accolades like a Coleman.
But not league level.
But not league level with that.
That makes zero sense to me again. It's literally like holding the ball, but in clubland medal form. No sense.
Hey,
but,
what can't you get on this show, Dan? Seriously?
You can get a lot. Rub and tugs, we haven't done that yet.
Not yet, but...
Every chance we've got more room here in the studio now.
Absolutely.
I think people notice that you've got that thing behind you. If you're on the podcast again, you won't see this, but on YouTube,
I've stepped
Ollie's
up.
in the change room here.
We've had a look at the contract. We've gone...
Stepped up.
He's not terrible. We'll give him a wall.
Do you know what? I just had PTSD from golf yesterday because this was in someone's phone screen. I was at golf yesterday and I was speaking to one of the old blokes. Be careful how I say this because he listens.
Okay.
I was speaking to someone connected to the club and he was like, oh, I want to show you this putting technique because I was like, I can't putt. I keep 3 putting. It's fucking annoying. I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. I'm just standing there and like in my head, I've got 4,000 different messages. He goes, I want to send you this link. It's for this putting guy. He like, has some good techniques. Gets out his phone, opens his browser Safari and just there is like a gangbang porn scene with that colour. The quick fumble of his hands, like, oh, no, was the most embarrassing thing. And I was like, I've just seen that you watched porn this morning, haven't you? I was like, it made me feel so uncomfortable. And then I started doing like the looking up.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't know.
Have you done that before?
Yeah.
In your browser?
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta clear the browser. Make sure it's clear to go before you go.
I have done
Also,
that.
don't show some people stuff in your
I
Safari.
haven't done that specific situation, but I've definitely had something on my browser where I go, oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, or AirPlay.
Yeah.
It's like your mum's, like you linked it up to the TV.
Yeah.
And then you've gone home. No,
Yeah.
you linked up the TV. Then like maybe you've gone to your room and decided to watch some more, but then still connected to the TV. And your mum's like seeing what you're doing in your screen. And she's like, "What are you doing, Daniel? What is that? How do you do that?"
How do you do that?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's weird." Yeah.
I was just going to say, I do have and we can cut this if you're not interested, but my worst was before I did this, my favourite thing I did was with Mark Schwarzer. I did a podcast with him, and the first time I met him, I'd just done a little bit of Googling just to remind myself of all the cool things he's done, and then on that day, I do remember, it was the worst. I said, I think we had to check our train tickets or something. Got it out, and there were Mark Schwarzer highlights.
That's creepy. That's good. Did DM anyone this week? Any DMs?
I've actually, I've stopped DMing.
No texter.
I'm commenting.
Oh, what are you commenting?
Well, just the same thing I DM because you get a better chance of people seeing that.
Great. So what's one that you did this week? So are you copying on social pages?
Yeah. Players' pages?
No, just like Clubland. I can see you're a big Clubland commenter.
Yeah, but then I commented on Mitch Owens' post. I said, love this, that fourth slide. I'm going to get that haircut, that kind of thing. Got into a bit of a war with the Minnesota teams because it's Pride round and everyone was being really negative.
Yeah, right. So you're in there as well.
I went and zeroed in on everyone.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I was a big commenter this weekend. I'll go back to DMing probably this weekend.
That's okay, fair enough. Yeah, right. I speaking of comments and stuff, I went to Port's Instagram post game, Ruffles and Feathers, and the first one, the top one was like, "Oh, great! Now we've got to deal with Dan Gorringe."
Yes, you do.
And someone was like, "Actually, I've blocked Daniel Gorringe," and I went on Dan Does Footy. I was like, "Hey, have you blocked Dan Does Footy though?" Question mark. So good. Just ruffle feathers left, right, and centre, guys. The comment sections at Clubland between opposition fans is the greatest thing in the world.
The best.
It's so funny, and just the excitement from the fans on their own Instagram page. So keep getting on there, keep being active. Let's get in the round of football. Let's review this shit because there's a lot happening in this. Blues Power Thursday night football. Lids have been obliterated. Smashed. Don't know where they are.
Nah.
Cannot find them. Going into the game, we thought that Carlton's record would haunt them.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't won a game in Adelaide against an Adelaide team. And for 3 quarters, it was an arm wrestle. And you're sitting there going, okay, well, this is going to be a typical Carlton game. They're going to be really close here. It's going to come down to within 10 points, and then maybe we get on the right side of it. Nah. Cripper said, fellas, in the 3-quarter huddle, Cripper said, fellas, and he laid down, find a seat on my back. Oh, TDK, find a seat on my back. I'm going to take you for a ride here. Get on. 2 goals within 30 seconds, set the tone for the last quarter, and the Blues don't do that.
No.
The Blues have never, recently in the last 2 or 3 years, been a team that can kick 8 on you. What the fuck are you opening?
What?
What are you opening?
No, sorry, I was playing with your streamers. I'm just still celebrating your birthday.
The Blues have never been a team that, like, in the last quarter will do that to you. They've just been grinding away and trying to hang on. So to see them get to the last quarter and put a foot on the throat was unbelievable. I sat on the couch drenched. Bloody floodgates from the TV just got me big time, and I was stuck there going, oh no, I'm drowning. Don't even have a snorkel. At least prepare me for this, boys. Mm-hmm. So it was great to see, and I do want to say that Vossi coached this game to a victory, I think.
Yeah.
He spent a bit of time there at Port. I think he knew what was coming from Cairn, knew the game plan, and their defence was so aggressive and high. They haven't played a defence like that. And that was off the back of Vossi knowing how Port play. Mm-hmm. And it looked like they got so high up, put pressure on them, and to do that, and when you do that, that Port were going to turn it over, which they did. There was times in that game where Port were out and just missed a kick, and then it went back over the heads and Blues scored. So credit to Vossi for knowing what was going on out there. What Charlie Curnow is doing at the moment in this 3-year span is out of this world. 181 goals since 2022. 3-time Coleman medalist potentially this year, leading it already. The last person to 3-peat was Gary Ablett Sr. So just crazy. He's not having big games. He's just bobbing up for 3, 4 when they need him the most. So if he can have a big game and just take a game by the scruff of the neck, then look out for not only the Coleman medal, but for teams in the league. Like, he's not going as good as what we probably think he is, given his lead in the Coleman. Chincotta tagging Butters worked. Butters only had 24, which probably take. And TDK being the solo ruck is just being a great move. I think you just keep him as solo. Give him maybe a rest pre-finals, but he's averaging 21.5 and 27.5. Yeah,
straight to pre-finals. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, but we'll play finals now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll play, mate. If we don't play finals, we're playing finals.
Yeah.
It's just happening.
Well, you're sitting pretty in 5th now. I'll also say with that last quarter, big respect as well, just from a neutral's point of view to Port Adelaide. I messaged you going, what the hell did both of these teams do at 3-quarter time? Like, obviously Carlton were far better in the end, but
what was in the Gatorade?
Finlayson came on, unreal goal, from
Yeah,
the pocket there, and I'm
Yep.
just thinking that was awesome viewing. Like
It was good.
I loved
After
it.
a snooze fest in the first half.
Yeah.
Like we call that snooze fest all the time. I sat there going, oh, fuck, it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
And it picked up out of nowhere. Now, I don't want to sound hypocritical here about for Port fans, because I know you guys are probably a little bit angry, but let's try and find some optimism here. You're 8-4. You're in the top 4. That's probably where maybe not even expected you. That's probably where you live. You have lived the last 4 years in that range that, not probably the best 2 teams, but in that 3 to 7. So you're where you should be. In saying that, Ken has now coached 259 games, 11 years as coach without a grand final. That is the longest streak by any club in VFL, AFL history.
Wow.
And we all know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again, expecting a different result. So maybe they look at changing things up. He's under the pump big time now.
Of course, he has to be, right?
Yeah, I feel like for Ken and for Port fans, it's literally you win a flag or you're out of a job.
Yeah.
This year, which is so harsh.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh, but after 11 years,
11 years, I just don't. I look at them and I go, Jason Horne-Francis is your best mid and your best forward at the moment.
yeah, at the moment.
George Yardis is very good.
Yeah.
Your recruits that you brought in, have they made you a better team? Zerk Thatcher, Radigalia, and Soldo, have they made you a better team? I think you're better in the ruck. I think Soldo's competitive and gives you a more look for your mids. I'm not sure that Zerk Thatcher and Radigalia have been your pillars that stop stuff. I think Aaliyah's been great, and he's been there for a while, but I'm not sure that you're better than last year.
What's difficult with Port Adelaide, though, with all due respect to them, is that Kenny's made them really relevant. So it's like at some point you just need to take a seat back and go, you don't think that as a Saints fan that I would be, for the best part of 11 years, love to be sitting around that top 4 range just as it is?
Yeah.
Of course. Now you go to the Adelaide Oval and it's an absolute sellout. You know that they're going to win most of their games.
Yeah.
So it's like at some point do you have to look at things just a bit realistically and go, yeah, but they're doing pretty well. And it's more of a destination club than it has ever been before.
Again, another great call from you today. It's a careful what you wish for.
Yeah, a top
situation
100%.
here, because you're competitive, you're around the mark, you get 2 home finals. I know you've shut the bed twice in your home finals, and that's what you're known for. But you get that again this year.
Yep.
Maybe you do. Maybe you walk to a grand final, given you have 2 home finals. So, yeah,
Dan, only one team can win the premiership. Only 2 teams can be in the grand final. It's tough to do. It's really tough to do. So to just be in that conversation for a really long period of time
it's big.
is huge.
It's big. Now, Port have a bye coming up. The Blues play the Bombers on Sunday, where we'll finally see Harry, Ben, and maybe Barry Mackay against each other. Big. Well, they haven't played against each other ever, which I find astounding.
It's weird, isn't it?
Crazy. It's going to look weird on TV seeing it. Don't you reckon?
It'll be... It's so not about the game anymore.
There's
it's
a game
just about
within the
watching
game.
that.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought come Sunday that maybe one of them, Ben, was going to get injured. I had a feeling like that this wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It was too good to be true, but Sunday will be good. Long round of football coming up as well in round 13. Thursday night football through to Monday night football.
What are we going to do, by the way?
We'll do a Tuesday record,
Tuesday.
I think.
Nice.
Yep, so we get all in.
Yeah.
Dogs v Pies Friday night football. Now, Dogs came bounding over Marble. Just chewed them up, spit them out. Now, to be fair, the Pies are missing a fair chunk of their team. They don't have a forward line for the next month, which makes me nervous. I don't know where they end up in the ladder after this next 4 to 6 week period. It's crazy that 2 weeks ago, the Pies fans were chanting this after the Blues left the 8. We're at Collingwood now? 9th. That's okay. I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm just getting a little mental tabs, a little post-it note on that one.
Geez, it must be post-birthday. You seem wiser. I was waiting for you to launch into a Collingwood's out of the 8.
They want to make finals. I won't miss them.
Yeah,
so
okay.
we'll see. That's okay. Dogs keep barking, train keeps rolling is what I say.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to see them at the 8 after everything.
Oh, absolutely.
If they don't make the finals this year, they couldn't, could they?
Well, I mean, they could because
They're pretty depleted.
They're massively depleted. And for the first half of the season, we're thinking, oh my good goodness, what's this? Like they were,
Yeah.
they've done well to sort of
So they were nowhere for the
their
first
career.
half. Nowhere for the first half of the year.
Yep.
They're now injured. Cry me a fucking river.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's just like the Blues have been in the same situation.
Yeah.
Richmond have been horrible this year, so it just is what it is.
Totally
It
is
is what
what
it
it
is. You can only play how you play given who's out there.
Yep.
So and they're going to use it because we all would. Injury is going to play a massive part in it, but I just don't know where they end up after this. They're 4 to 6 weeks without their forward line. Is crazy. Nick Dacos did as much as he could in this game to get a VFL team over the line. He was crazy early, but as much as we speak about their Pies injuries, the Doggies also have a lot of injuries as well. No Libba, no Norton, no Waitman, no Richards, no Johansson, no Bailey Smith. James Harms does a hammy. Vandermeer does a hammy in the same game. So they also had their issues as well. And the Dogs, after everything that happened early in the year, and we wanted to really get rid of Bavo, he's now 6-6.
Yeah.
Which is a great effort. And they're knocking on the door of finals. They're overing it off. This is crazy. Nick Dacos becomes the first player in history to have 30 or more touches against every team in the comp.
The first player in history.
He's done it in 59 games.
That's amazing.
That is wild.
That is
We're looking
incredible.
at the GOAT here. This is the Macedonian marvel we're looking at. Like this, what he's done in 59 games, stack it up against anyone, he's the best player we've ever seen.
Yep.
So let's just take time to appreciate it. I've seen it in American sports. I think we all see it where you just don't appreciate what's happening because you're envious or you're jealous that he's not on your team. Just when you watch a Collingwood game, look at what this kid is doing. It is fucking wild.
It's pretty awesome to think there'll be a time where we're old talking to our grandchildren who could be like, and what was Nick Dacos like? And you just get to go back and go, oh, mate,
Yeah.
you will never see
You'll
someone
never believe
like him.
this. Yeah, I know. Like what I hear about Gary Ablett Senior.
Exactly
You only hear
right.
it. You're like, oh yeah, he must have been good. You only
Yeah.
hear it, but now, like you said, this could be the Gary Ablett Senior Nick Dacos moment to our kids.
100%.
So he's been amazing. His contested footy stuff as well. 27 contested possessions. When they say he doesn't win a hard ball, oh, he loves a hard ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
lie.
And also great news for Collingwood and for us is seeing Oleg get a consistent run.
It's good.
And did you see him? This was great. He went for a mark and his teammate marked it and he celebrated. It was so funny.
He just celebrated the small
Just
stuff, mate.
celebrated. He
Just
was
loves his
arms
footy.
up
Yeah, just loves his footy. The great man, big leggy. So good to see him running out there and kicking
Yeah.
goals. He hit goals as well, didn't he?
He did.
He did. Yeah. Speaking of guys who we spoke about Dacos and gave him his flowers, the Bont.
Oh, man.
Now we haven't seen a tattoo, and I'm fucking furious we haven't yet. We're getting closer.
I've had a few
Yeah.
sent in.
We're getting closer.
Yeah.
I just want a full, maybe if any doggy boys listen, just can you get a photo of us?
Yeah.
Maybe with Bont and a thumbs up.
I'd love that.
So we're trying our hardest to get this photo of the tap, but he is just, we know this, but he does games like this where you go, he's a freak and he should have won a Brownlow.
Yep.
He's 28 years old. And I look at him like he's older than that.
I suppose you do, don't
He's
you?
been good for so long. He has 5 All-Aus, 5 Dogs BNF winners, a premiership, and he probably is now the greatest player of all time for the Dogs.
I can't remember who did it, but someone pushed him or gave him a little thing in the ribs, and the commentator said, the young gun just making his presence felt on the old dog.
Oh, he's
And I thought,
28.
the old dog.
Old Dog is 28. He's got another 6 years in him.
Yeah.
Probably of good footy. He had 38 touches, 2 goals, 9 tackles, and again, said, boys, snacks or drinks? If this ride you're about to go on, just let's go. It's crazy. He was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. So we spoke about the Sam Darcy thing, and I said last week, and I'll probably say it again, he will be the best forward in the game in the next 3 years.
Yeah, okay.
What he did out there was very impressive, given he just, a young player as Maynard has to come back to a crowd that was pretty hostile to then put that performance on. Good effort.
That's really underrated. And I did like in the end that Bevo took him off for a quick spell.
Quick chat.
And just be like, all good.
He was like, great work, mate. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, we love that.
Yeah, we love more of that.
Yeah.
That was great. So kicked 22 goals this year already. Only kicked 3 goals in his last 2 seasons prior to this one.
Yeah, there
so
you
his
go.
development's through the roof. And he's getting more confident. So we can't win the Rising Star, so won't be that confident. Adam Treloar as well. Let's not miss him. All-Australian season. Had 37. He's now averaging 33. He's fucking good, man. I think we forget how good Adam Treloar was. Went to Collingwood, racked up the footy, made a grand final, then fell out of favour. He's gone the Dogs and just found some form this year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, he had 37. I thought you said he is 37.
No, he's not. No,
Right,
he's
had,
31.
yeah.
And for the Dogs, they play Brisbane again at Marvel. I feel like they haven't left Marvel in a month.
No, why would they?
They love it. It's the kennel.
Yep.
They should call it the kennel.
Absolutely, they should.
True. And the D's play on Kings B Day.
Against the Pies.
Against the Pies, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pies play the D's. So that's a big game. That
Huge.
is that game now, given the D's got absolutely fucking buried out there.
Oh, mate, I just had a bit of a shiver up my spine. Like, how good's footy?
It's so good.
It's
Every
so
game
good.
means something now we're here.
Yeah.
So that's big for them on Monday because, I mean, both teams, one of them out of Monday's football game is going to slip further out of the 8, which you wouldn't have thought coming into the year.
No, and Pies have already, they drew the Anzac Day clash. They love those big occasions.
They find something.
So they're going to want to win that one.
They're all moths.
Yeah,
to
that's
it.
true.
And the lights turn on. Hawks Adelaide. I told you, the Hawks are confident, they're hot, and they're just fucking coming. You know, they are coming. If you're a Hawks fan, put all September plans on hold. Because what you're doing right now is just next level. They'd be in the top 8 if they didn't have those 2 nightmares in Adelaide. They had Collingwood to gather around, remember that?
Yep.
They choked, and then the absolute robbery in the last 10 seconds against Port.
Yep. I don't know if they choked.
Who?
Hawthorn.
What game?
The Collingwood game? I don't know if they choked. I don't think that when you're...
Weren't they up by like 5 goals?
Yeah, but when you're at that level of development, I don't think you can choke, is my opinion.
Okay. Different. But
Thanks,
just
Ollie.
think about that. If they had won those, they're in the top 8,
100%.
which is just wild. And they're just gonna. I don't think they make finals. I'd love to be wrong, but they're gonna really make a season now to ruining teams' chances to play finals. They're a team you don't want to play if you're on the cusp,
100%.
because they're gonna ruin your season. It's season-ending season at the Hawthorn. I was gonna say sweeping season doesn't really work.
No.
Do Hawks sweep? Sweep?
I don't think they do.
They just fuck.
Yeah.
Hawks do fuck. They
know
get
it.
your season and they bend it over. They say, "Oh, would you like a drink?" No, thanks. Okay, then. And root it.
Yeah, it's almost like they're not interested in their own season. They're just interested in ruining everyone
Taking
else's.
pleasure in derailing season.
Yeah.
I love it. They did it easy at stoppage. Just beat the shit out of the Crows at stoppage. The Crows let them absolutely walk out of stoppages. Dylan Moore cooked 27 and 5 goals. Crazy. Probably the next captain of the footy club.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll put that. Sam Frost is good against Tech. Put him in his pocket. He still makes me very nervous by foot. I think there's a few players in the league when they get the ball, you go, this could literally end up in row Z.
Yeah, that's true.
Makes me very nervous. And the Crows, they're done. I'll put a line through them. Do you see that?
I did.
They're done. Put a line through them, pack them up, and see you next year. And play the kids. Play Curtin, get some games into them, and start making some big calls on your club legends.
Because they're
for
not
next
far.
season.
They're not far off though. It feels
From what?
like some sort of they're back.
Crows,
I think they're far away from success.
I reckon they're closer to a rebuild again than success.
Do you really?
Yeah. I just think they've got I think that their talent is good. It's not great.
Okay.
But I think they're still confused about plugging holes with veterans instead of donning some kids and being like, let's go through some teething stages for 22 weeks.
Yeah.
Which maybe I thought was this season. I mean, Tex was great last year, but the question going in this season was, could he do that again at his age? He hasn't.
Yeah.
Brody Smith's been amazing off half back. Is he your answer for the next 2 years? No. You went out and get Dan Curtin. We haven't seen Dan Curtin. Let's get the teething issues out now while you're not going to make finals this year. So that's all I probably want from the Crows. But they're now 14th. They play Richmond on Thursday Night Football in Adelaide. And the Hawks play the Giants in Tassie. That's a big game Thursday. Because if Richmond bring any sort of effort like they did against Geelong for 3.5 quarters, that would burn the city down.
No, it wouldn't be good, would it?
No, that bridge would be fucking in the river.
Especially if Dusty plays, and then you've got that element of
Yeah. Oh shit.
celebration as well.
If he goes, well, I'm deciding to play, and the Tigers get themselves up for that game, danger, Crows fans, that game there. Eagles v Saints, double loss to the Eagles, lost to the Saints, and then they lose Harley Reid, who now can't win the Rising Star. And it wasn't a good start for the Eagles when Ozzy the Eagle was let loose and went rogue around the stadium.
I loved it.
Just could have clawed someone in the eyes. He just went on his own mission. So that's probably not a good omen.
No.
When the Eagle just goes, fuck it, I'm out.
I'd like to see the OH&S report as to how they're allowed to do that because, yeah, Aussie the Eagle could just go completely rogue if it wanted to.
What if Ozzy the Eagle goes and just rips some kid's eyes out?
Yeah, it could.
And just some kids just bleeding from the eyeballs because Aussie's got his eyeballs and flying around the stadium. Like, who gets sued then?
Someone.
I think Aussie the Eagle definitely needs suspension from AFL. It's a 12-month sanction.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you reckon?
Well, if it does that, but I reckon, give him a week off at least for what he
to
did
think
do.
about things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hawks are big. I mean, Eagles are big. I didn't realise how big they were.
Oh, they're huge.
Then scary.
Yeah.
Big wingspan.
Yeah, they're massive. You don't muck around with them.
No. Now, Harley came out in this game and had 90 in the first half, and we're thinking the Eagles are home here. And then the Saints threw a tag on him, Windhager. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm impressed that Harley, is getting tagged at 11 games into his career. But also, I go, well, you've had to win a game by tagging a 19-year-old.
He's not a real 19-year-old, though, is he?
He's not. Yeah,
he's
okay.
a superhero.
Okay, so he's a superhero. So you're okay with it?
Totally okay with it. We sat here on the Thursday going, how the hell do you stop Harley Reid? That might be the only way.
And we said, actually, you can't. He's just going to do what he wants. And we also suggested throwing a tag on him, which they did, and he only had 2 after half time.
There you go.
So Windhager's, he's a dog man, Windhager. And hot.
Yeah.
Muscly.
Yeah, no, you should have seen him come home. He went phone, keys, wallet, Harley.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. That was good. But good at the Saints. Good to see them win a game, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't want to put chopsticks in my eyes. You guys made a competitive game. The first half, I was thinking this thing might be a bit ugly, but you came home and things were good.
Just it wasn't the sexiest game from St Kilda by a long way. Like, you can't sit here and think that we went out there and we were the best team in the league, but Melbourne couldn't go there and get the win.
They're shit.
So there you go.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, you went from 15th to 15th. So that's a big win. I think you got some percentage you needed. Mason Wood, 22-4.
Love what Mason does.
What he made me. He had some wood.
Yeah.
I had some Mason Wood in my jocks. Hey, McGovern and Barras are very good down back.
They are.
If it wasn't for those two, this thing would have been floodgate material. I would have been drenched again on the couch.
Well, I think with all the chat about Harley Reid, you forget that their list is actually
Got some good players still.
they're not probably nearly as far off what we thought they'd be.
I mean, I'll be honest, I do forget that West Coast have other players.
Yeah.
Like big time.
No, a little bit.
No Waterman as well. Got laid out. So that was, you probably sitting there as a say, like you'd have been happy with that.
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh damn. Hope he's okay.
He's all right.
Yeah. But great win though. Now the Saints now go to Marvel and play the Suns. And we know the Suns, given what they do here, they'll fucking shit the bed. It's just in their DNA to have an amazing win at home and then come down to Marvel and just...
Yeah. I'm getting a bit nervous about it, but I can see it happening too.
You could win this.
I think we could.
Yeah, and the Eagles, this is actually a massive game. The Eagles play North at Optus. And it was the game that we circled 13 weeks ago. And I said, if North are going to win one game this year, just one, it'll be round 13 on a Saturday Arvo in Perth. This is their only opportunity to win a game.
And I don't think they can now.
They can't, even without Harley.
Yeah.
Get Tim Kelly back, get Waterman back, maybe Oscar Allen. I'm not sure how far away he is.
Yeah.
I think North go the whole year without winning a game.
Wow. Just every time you say it, I go, surely not. But then every time you say it, we've just seen a weekend of footy that suggests that you're absolutely right.
Every time I see North do anything, I'm more convinced that they are a horrible football team that will not go win a game this year. They keep proving me right when I watch them. Mm-hmm. I think the Eagles that Harley Reid will just do it easily in the end.
And a great test for them to do so. Just for a bit of respect in their club.
Yeah.
You know?
And also on the other hand, absolutely deflating if North can't win that.
Yeah.
Because you'd now then realise the realisation of your season is that we're going to go the whole year without winning a game.
Yeah.
Which is fucking horrible. At least that'd be, I don't know where they're going for off season, but give that to look forward to. Yeah. And a number one pick. Another one.
Yep.
Give them the top 10. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Honestly, just help them. Cats v Richmond. Cats won, but also felt like a loss sort of thing. You know, they hate a first half at the moment. I was watching this going, this is just, and Richmond were brave, don't get me wrong, but you watched it and you just knew that the Cats are going to be down here by whatever is at half time and they're going to come back and win.
Yeah.
You felt that when you watched it, and sure enough, so they need to work out what they're doing in the first half because whatever they're doing, especially at home, is not great.
No.
Too many oysters.
Way too many.
Potentially. But Richard said, Richmond's VFL team were very good, jumped them. This is now, though, with their loss, it becomes the worst start to a season in 116 years.
Yeah. And we've seen some bad Tigers teams too.
Horrible Tigers teams.
So-
Throwing memberships, burning them, spitting on the coaches. Mario from Doncaster. Like, we've seen a lot. Their injuries got worse as well. Lafau's done ACL. That's their 5th knee this year, which is just horrible. It's almost like, I feel sorry for you, but can you just pack up their season now, AFL, and put them away?
Yeah.
Like, we don't even, you feel bad playing them because they've got young kids who are just getting bashed every week, and it's not great. But at least they're getting games. Pickett gave the finger. The Cats fans, you saw that? Just a little like that. Had to turn the comments off Instagram because it was getting a little bit crazy out there. So we decided to turn those off. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. Let's just hope that Dusty plays his last game and they get up about for him on Thursday Night Football. That'd be a great. I think the Tigers have one win in them for the rest of the year.
Mate, if you can beat Sydney, you can win another game.
That is still fucking crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Sydney's only loss this year is to Richmond.
Yeah.
Wild when you think about that.
Oh, no, it's full on. But if they can do that, they can win a second game.
Yeah, okay. Melbourne v Freo. Melbourne, what the fuck? Like, what in the actual fuck? Talk about a bloody rough day at work. That is throwing it back to 2009. Are we tanking? Are we tanking again? Let a team who didn't even have business class seats throw you around. And you were a top 4 or 5 team. And now you've played so shit that you've thrown yourself out of the top 8. This is the most random fucking belting I've ever seen. Adele was on the bingo card. Freo go up to Alice Springs and beat them by 100 points.
Yeah.
The only time they look competitive was when they went down by 100. And I think everyone, especially in Adelaide, supporters especially, Crow supporters have been sitting there going, you know what, we'll watch this game, we're going to accept that we're going to have the worst performance of the round. And Melbourne said, nah, watch this. This is going to be embarrassing. Now, they kicked the first 2 goals in the first 4 minutes, and you thought, okay, this will be a good game. They're going to do what they normally do. Hopefully, it'll be an arm wrestle, and they can maybe get a win here in Alice Springs. We weren't expecting a high-scoring affair at all. And Freo just said, fuck that. We're going to absolutely have our way with them. It was unbelievable.
I've just gone through it then. 12 individual goal scorers as well.
Just leaking everywhere.
Yeah.
Just horrible. Again, Freo, I'm so sorry for calling you boring, but just demolish them. 6th on the ladder. Their percentage is now through the roof. They've got a bye coming up. And if you're a Freo fan, start booking flights. Get the cheap rate. Book your flights to Melbourne for finals, because I think if you get 2 home finals, a double chance, then you're every chance to maybe see yourself in a grand final if you play that kind of football.
Well, precedent has now been set if you're a Freo fan.
That's what you expect now.
Yep,
you can do that.
We can kick goals, so we have to now.
That was horrible in Melbourne. I don't know. Like, that review, I've been in reviews where you walk in after a 100-point loss and it is like a graveyard. It's just like Goody would be losing his shit. And normally the reviews are very much, rip the head off the player. It's not about this player. I reckon Goody's saying, nah, keep the head on the player. Track. What's this? Hey, boys, what's this, motherfuckers?
Yep.
What is this shit that we're dishing up? You want to serve shit up and make me watch it? Watch this. And he'd just take his pants down and take a massive shit in front of him.
Bring it back.
Fucking
The glory
horrible.
days. Do it.
Horrible. There's no other way to describe that than an absolute fucking shit show. And the crazy thing is they can come out on Monday and win against the Pies.
Yep.
I don't know. I think that's... I don't want to say the window's closed, because I don't think it's closed. I think this is just a fucking little peeling of the onion saying, hey, guys, this is actually here as well.
That's so true.
They're good at this, but also look at that.
Here's what's underneath.
They can do that. It's well done to Freo. Credit to you. I keep saying it. We said you're boring. We said you put us to sleep, put the opposition to sleep. You didn't do that. You are fun. You're a personality. You like jokes. You like beers. You like having fun. You like playing golf.
Yep.
You're quirky.
Yeah.
You do some fun things.
Interests.
You love stretching hats.
Yep. Yeah. I stretched a few T-shirts over the weekend.
That doesn't surprise me at all. But what on Freo? Jai Amos, got his kicking boots back on.
Yeah.
Jordan Clark is having some sort of year. And I think Fife has now figured out what his role is in this team. A little bit confused coming back into it. Am I mid? Okay, I'm not the number 1 guy anymore. Probably not even the number 2 guy, but I can have you 20 and be really damaging.
Yeah.
Unreal. But But for Melbourne, long week to think about things as well.
Really
Extra long week. And they should have a think about things. Just get the mirrors up, boys, and stare at it for a session. And just look in the mirror and go find yourself. And the last game of the round, the Bombers v the Gold Coast. Now, it's so fucking weird because the Suns are a top 4 team every fortnight. And if you play them at the Gold Coast or in Darwin, they are terrifying. But then you play them anywhere outside of that, and it's just like, okay, they're a very subpar team.
Yep.
But I think we saw this. I think we saw. Do you feel like we saw this? We saw this coming this round with these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it was also just looking at it from Essendon's perspective, it just felt about time. Like, you know. Yep. You're going to have a blemish for sure. This is a great run, but you're going to have a blemish.
Well,
at some point.
A while. It's been a while since the Bombers fans, the Bombers let their fans down.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since they had a bad weekend. So, and I think going into the game when you're not favourites and you're on your second ladder, that's like potentially you're a fraud.
Yep.
So when I put them on fraud list or fraud watch officially, the blowback I got was terrifying from the Bombers fans. They are scary. They're ruthless. They're angry. But again, I don't make the rules.
No.
You know, people are like, oh, but you've done that. Don't make the rules. It's not on me.
Goes higher up than that.
It's way higher than me. I'm just the mouth.
Yeah.
There is people above me who are pulling strings.
Yep.
I'm just putting it down. Nick Hine was very good. He should get a contract before Stringer. He was everywhere.
I love him.
Do you know he averages like more than 25 against the Suns?
Against the Suns, yeah, right.
Crazy. He was very, very good. Now the Bombers, the second on the ladder, so you can't really say anything.
No.
Like I feel dumb for saying anything about them, but the second on the ladder, they remain second. I think that we'll call it early. I think they'll lose on Sunday.
Ooh.
Against the Blues.
Okay.
I think that maybe we know that history says post-bye Bombers or they drop off a little bit. I just didn't see anything from that game from the Bombers where I said, okay, that's good for next week.
Yeah, sure. They weren't terrible.
I weren't terrible at all, but
yeah.
Suns.
Yeah.
You know, the Suns haven't really done anything as well. Suns have the Saints at Marvel, so as we said, the Suns fans are fully expecting an absolute shitting the bed here against the Saints. That's all I got to say. How long are we going for?
Over an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Speaking. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening as well. We are back on Thursday for the rounds are getting bigger and bigger. Round 13 preview, big round, long round. We'll see you then.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.